I-22 West, Alabama, going into Mississippi. And what I want to talk about today is, the high and low days, right? The high days are phenomenal. All the stars line up. Everything you do just works out. That's the easy part. It's the low days. It's the day I had yesterday. I'll give you an example. Sitting at a receiver, one of the tightest spots in the year and a half I've been trucking that I had to get into. Not a problem. I love the challenge. Managed to get off the road instead of doing a blind side. I used the road to my advantage. Yes, I creeped out slowly and stopped traffic, and there was some horns honking, but you ignore that, stay focused, and you do your back. That went smooth. That's where it started unraveling for me. Took them about, and which is not bad, I only had like 8 pallets. But it took them nearly 2.5 hours to unload. Again, not a problem. However, they did it before my detention was up. Where it started really unraveling after that was waiting for dispatch to send me the lumper fleet. That damn nearly took 45 minutes. So what I usually do is after I unload, get my paperwork, I typically scan my docs in to payroll. Depending on sometimes how fast I want to load, I'll do my depart call first. So this time I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere. I know I can't hang out there because it's a small little shoebox of a I guess, lack of better words, a distributor. Place is packed, trucks in and out. Can't stand on the road because it's a 2-lane highway. The nearest truck stop, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, one south is 25 miles, one north is 30 miles. So this time I deliberately sent my depart call in first. Took my time, scanned my docs in. When you want a pre-plan to come in 20 seconds, 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, no pre-plan. I'm looking in my app, sometimes it shows up under my fleet, nothing. I get a knock on the door. Hey bro, you got to get off the property. You got trucks coming in. Yeah, hold on. I'm having a couple issues, make an excuse. No, you got to go now. I'm like, all right, can you give me 5-10 minutes? Just gotta sort some stuff out. A little problem on my end. All right, but hurry up. So now I'm into this for a half hour, no pre-plan. Finally I said, all right, enough's enough. I'm causing congestion. Let me get out of here. So I decided to go south, right? Because when you get a pre-plan, or you don't get a pre-plan, but you're waiting for a pre-plan, it seems like every time you decide to leave the 90, you always make wrong choices because the load's on the other side of town, no matter which way. You go north, you're going to get a load going south. You go south, you're going to get a load going north or west, whatever. Finally, no sooner than I get to the truck stop than my call come go ding, 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 ding. I looked at the load. Of course, what did I have to do? Or where was I going to do? Was deadhead nearly 70 miles because I went 20 miles in the wrong direction to begin with, because they calculate the 01 from your 90. Son of a gun. What? It's going to Texas? Nah, I ain't going to do it. So, as a professional, I messaged my fleet manager and said, listen, I don't want to get mad or upset. You know I don't turn down loads, but I just came out of Texas, and this load really is not paying well enough for me to go to Texas. Not doing it. Louisiana is terrible. load. Just for me, it doesn't make dollars and cents. So I sit there. I said, I'm near at this point. I'm near a place where we pick up a lot of stuff from. I'm literally an exit away from the 01, the potential 01. So I messaged him and said, hey, listen, this is where I'm sitting. I think we can get a load out of here. Responds back and says, there's nothing going out until today, but I can't guarantee your sales is going to put us on that load. So, all right, whatever. Send me what you got. 15 minutes later, not even 10 minutes later, I get a load. Pickup is between 11 and 6 o'clock. It's literally 10 feet from the 90. So I'm saying to myself, Prime's a logistic company. How the hell would you not send me this load from the word go? I'm literally sitting across the street from the 01. Literally. That blew my mind. I was just like, they wanted me to go 71 miles to pick up a load to go to Texas that didn't pay a hill of beans. It didn't deliver till Sunday. And I don't use my cents per mile as my calculations. I use what the revenue per day is going to the truck. I'm looking for at least $500 per day to the truck. Minimum. I'll go at 470, but minimum 500. That's my mark. Again, this load is being delivered today. I'm on my way there to the 90, and it's well over $500 for the revenue for the truck in a 24-hour period. I took it. But I keep on saying to myself, I was talking to my buddy, I was like, that's before planning. Not only is there wear and tear on my truck to go 71 miles, but the fuel costs go up. Why wouldn't they have sent me this load knowing that I was sitting across the street? Knowing that I was empty by 11 o'clock in the morning. Did somebody overlook that? Is there something I am not seeing here? Logistically speaking, that would have been the best load for my truck. Okay? So that has my blood boiling a little bit. Get over it, move on. That's what I tend to do. So I get to the 01, it's supposed to be a drop-in hook. Nah, we don't have any prime trailers. Gonna be live loaded. Oh, that's fine. I got there at like 3:30, 3:45. DD time, drop dead time was 6 o'clock or 1600. Put me in the door, and I turn around. It's 9 o'clock. Still got a red light. Have not felt one iota of a forklift going in my trailer. Meanwhile, I'm burning up my time. You can't stay in. You can't park there overnight. And finally, make a long story short, I get the green light. It's like midnight. I'm in Georgia. If you folks familiar with Georgia, you know, trying to get a spot at a truck stop is pretty much non-existent. It's not going to happen. Just so frustrated, that they took over 7 hours to load me, burned up my clock, wouldn't let me sit there to reset my 10-hour. Couldn't wait to kick me off the premise. And their property is probably 3-4 football fields big. Plenty of room to go somewhere, chill out. But in this place, they don't give you the paperwork until you leave. Believe me, if I got the paperwork once I got loaded, it would have been another story. So they probably do that because people were doing that in the past, and they got smart and said, you know what, we want them off our property as soon as they get loaded, so pick it up on the way out. All right, so I'm driving. I got like an hour and a half on my 7 o'clock. On my 10. So I did a split session because I burned it up. It's a long, but anyway, it used a lot of time during the day, and I had like 6 hours left. And I got eaten up, and whatever the case may be. So I drove 100 miles to a pilot. There was actually one on the east side and one on the west side. Naturally packed. You can barely get in there. There's no way I could create a spot without causing chaos. And what's the point of parking in a bad spot when you hit knocks on your door and somebody wants to leave? I said, you know what? It's the first time in a year and a half. First time in a year and a half. I had to park on a ramp. No big deal. Well off the shoulder. Not on the off ramp, not on the on ramp, on the off ramp. So I was told that my trainer always told me, he goes, if you got to park on the ramp, it's the off ramp, not the on ramp. And then I looked back no more than 10 minutes after I put my truck there. Another truck came up behind me, so I said, great. I'm not going to get hit now. The other guy will get hit before I get hit. Finally fall asleep. Get a knock on the door, flashlight in my eyes, blue lights. Yes, officer, what can I do? You can't park here. Gotta go to the truck stop. I said, ma'am, I went to the truck stop and it was packed when I got there. No way could I park there. I said, I have a truck. Oh, I know you got a truck. I just can't park my truck anywhere. 75 foot. Yeah, but you can't stay here. I was like, all right, no problem. I figured by now it's 7 o'clock, 7:30, there should be some spots opened up at the truck stop. Finally get it going. In my Qualcomm, I don't know if you guys, this is specifically for Prime, I've been having problems booting up because my Qualcomm dies after 2 hours. If I'm not running the truck and my ignition is off, after 2 hours it shuts down. Well, that's fine, but normally it boots up, it goes through its prompts, and it fires right up. This time, it was just like stuck in loading applications mode. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm like, what the F is going on with this thing? The cop comes back, says, excuse me, you all right? I got to put my four-way flashes on now. Is everything all right? I said, yeah, my Qualcomm is trying to boot up, but when it does it, it shuts down. Or it's stuck in the loading the applications phase. Just please give me a couple minutes. I'm on my way out. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm trying to be nice because I'm trying not to avoid a confrontation and a ticket. I didn't see any no parking signs anyway. So anyway, she's doing it for safety reasons. It took my Qualcomm nearly a half hour to go through its prompts. Went through it twice. Finally, I happened to get it there, with PC to the truck stop, find a spot, and then proceed to fall asleep again. But the reason for the long story was that it was frustrating. I lost my mind when I got that second pre-plan after I turned it down. I did not want to go to Texas. Again, I was just there. It started getting a sour taste in my mouth, and it was, the load didn't pay. I'm not expecting to get high-paying loads on every trip. I'm a realist. I take what falls into my lap. Texas is a good freight lane coming out. I get it. I just did not want to go back to Texas. And so this is my third load I've turned down in a year and a half. So now I'm on my way to the 90. I just get a pre-plan, and it's a home run. Taking it from Mississippi up to New Jersey, which I don't mind. I know guys like, oh my God, New Jersey. Oh my God. I'm from the Northeast. If you can't tell, I've got a New York accent. I love the Northeast. I don't like paying the taxes, but I like the North. I shouldn't say love. I like the Northeast. I don't mind runs up to Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, parts of Jersey. Well, I will not go is onto Long Island. That's where I'm from. I'm not paying that $100 toll. That $100 toll. Not as a solo, as a team, different story. I'm sure it's good money coming in, but nothing coming out. The only problem is there's nothing coming out. So I live on Long Island, and I drive my car to Pittston and leave it there, and I'll drive home, just to avoid them giving me a load into Long Island, because I know what a disaster it can be. And I just want to give driver's lineup if you get to this part. Thanks for the shout out, I appreciate it. Congratulations to you and Jenna on your upcoming child. Awesome stuff. So I like Jersey, but the load is a home run. Because I was talking to my girl last night, and I was saying, you know what? I get a lot of like $900 loads, $1,100 loads, $500 loads. These are all short hits. But I'm like, where are the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 loads for solo? Why don't they exist? I know they're there, but more than likely they go to the teams. A lot of it's time sensitive. I get it. Can you throw me a bone once in a while? You know, I believe I'm a great employee. I run my business tight. I don't cause any problems, aggravation. I don't complain. I'm complaining now to you guys, but that's different. I don't break my fleet manager's nuts. I do my job. Get there safely and on time. Impeccable record. Throw me a bone. That's all I ask for is throw me a bone. Keep me happy. Keep me motivated. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's so hard when you're in that low groove, that low cut in your brain. It's hard to get out. It really is. And you just sometimes want to say, F it. I'm done. You know, I'm in a different situation. I'm going to mention this. I can walk away today from Prime and not blink an eye at it. Because I haven't, I've done well in my life. At least in the last 15 years. I have great savings. I can go out tomorrow and buy a truck. Cash. Any truck I want. And a trailer. Even though the market's at its highest peak. I'm not here to brag. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to leave Prime. I have no intentions of leaving Prime until I'm done. I don't believe in job hopping. No company, one company's not better than the other. I believe Prime's the best of the best. I get paid. Actually, I gave a driver's code out last night. The guy came over and we talked about Prime. He's like, yeah, do you have a referral code? I said, here you go. So I might be getting a referral code. Yay for me. I love Prime. There's nothing wrong with Prime. I chase rates, I don't chase miles. Again, I never look at what I'm making as per mile. It doesn't make sense. No pun intended. Revenue to the truck per day is what you look at, what I look at. How much is my truck earning per day? And that's what's important as a lease operator. And you will make money with Prime. Again, I will keep saying this over and over again. You will make money with Prime if you learn to run your clock, you're safe, and you're on time. But all I'm saying, it's been a long time since I've gotten a nice paying load. I mean, this is going to make my week probably well over $6,000 gross to the truck revenue. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to do minimum $4,500 and as much as I can make. And you know what? After a while, again, I'm probably beating a dead horse here. Those 900, those 300-mile runs beat the shit out of you. Beat you down. Beat your clock. Beat you mentally because you're going to a shipper and a receiver twice, or vice versa. Shipper, receiver, shipper. odds right, I can make more than 23 on this trip. But irregardless, this load doesn't deliver till 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. That's all I'm asking, and that's the point of the story. Now, the point of the story is how do you deal with when you're frustrated. When you turn down a load and there's another load that's right around the block. Just unbelievable. Blows my mind. But, I've been taking my deep breaths, talking to my girl, talking to my buddy Scott, and you work yourself through it. You gotta have, and that's another thing too. I'm a loner. I have a lot of friends. But in the trucking world, I'm a loner, right? I enjoy being with myself. I enjoy being by myself, not with myself. That's kind of weird. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy looking out the window, reminiscing about the past, setting goals for the future. Can't wait to get home and see my friends, my girl, go out to dinner. So 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I'm like an arrow, straight, focused, motivated, enthusiastic, looking forward to, my next trip. I get excited because you never know where you're going to go. I'm on 22. It's the first time I'm on this road. And as you can see, it's really beautiful. But again, just to end this, because this is long-winded, when you have down days, make sure that you reach out to people that can relate to what you're going through, because they will help you pull it through. Thank God for my buddy Scott. He's a prime driver. But I do need to reach out to a few more people. I speak with Lyle, no hippie trucking and transportation. But build yourself a network, again, for the days that you're hurting. It sucks that you want to throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm done. But don't be mistaken. Having a CDL, as I said in my last video, opens up doors. It's a great skill set to learn. Always going to need a truck driver. Doesn't matter. And you can haul anything from helicopter parts to cattle to you name it. It's got to get there by a truck. So the opportunity is vast. Do not ever think trucking sucks. It might be a choice of companies that suck, but trucking is a phenomenal skill set to have. Don't forget that. Folks, thank you for stopping by BigH Trucking. If you like, please like and subscribe. Ask questions. Again, I may get my first referral, which is phenomenal. And by the way, before I leave, I was truthful with the guy. Young guy, 30 years old. He's in a local company right now. He's miserable. They're not busy enough. And I showed him my statements, my settlements. He was quite impressed. And I told him, I said, this doesn't mean that you're going to do it, but this is potentially what you can earn. I want to be open and honest. It's the only way to be. Because when I was looking for trucking companies, it was hard to find somebody that was really transparent. Driver's lineup is very transparent. There's others who are transparent. I don't believe in sharing the money because every individual can have different outcomes. All I can tell you is that if you work hard, you're safe, you're on time, Prime will pay you. Prime is awesome. They gave me another career at 54 years old. I started. I'm not going to be 57. Because you know what? As you get older, it's harder to find. It's harder to find opportunities. And what I love about this, and I promise this is it, no one breaks your chops. Nobody. Get your assignment, go pick pick up the load, you drive, you'll drop it off, and in between that, the only noise is the road noise, wind, and what your brain is thinking of between your ears. No one breaks your balls. No one breaks your balls. Love it. Till the next one, stay safe, make great decisions.